I decided to extend my explanation to each of the Scrum events. And to start with the first event, here we have the sprint planning, which is the cornerstone of each sprint in Scrum. It's designed to set a clear direction for the team. During this meeting, the Scrum team works in a collaborative way to decide what work will be done in the upcoming sprint and how that work will be accomplished. By the end of the sprint planning, the team should have a well defined sprint goal and also clear understanding of the prioritized backlog items. We already have discussed what are the backlog items, how we prioritize them, what exactly is the sprint goal. So to talk about and more in depth about the sprint, let's say the purpose of the sprint planning. So the purpose of sprint planning is to set a shared vision for the sprint. By defining a sprint goal, the team focuses on delivering a specific, measurable outcome. This meeting ensures that the highest priority backlog items are selected and everyone on the team understand their role in achieving the sprint objectives and goal. This alignment reduces the ambiguity and fosters the collaboration between the team. It ensures the team alignment within the deliverables, also with the sprint, let's say, timeline. The key inputs or the key, let's say, cornerstones items that's needed to start with your sprint is, let's say that before the sprint planning, several inputs are necessary here. And the product owner provides the prioritized backlog. And remember then when we talked about the prioritization of these backlog items with the features, how they getting prioritized based on the product, let's say vision, based on the stakeholder inputs, and based on the product owner, let's say instructions, ensuring that the team works on the most valuable items. The team assesses their capacity based on their availability and velocity. And when we talked about the velocity, we said that it's the amount of work that the team can produce during a sprint. Also, the lessons from the previous sprints, such as uncompleted work or challenges that were captured during the sprint retrospective, so it can be considered during the new sprint. Also, considering to improve the planning accuracy and execution. But who are the participants in sprint planning? Effective sprint planning requires active participation from all of the Scrum team. The product owner who outlines the priorities and provide the prioritized backlog, also provide, let's say, a business insight and value. The next key participant here is the Scrum Master who facilitate the session, also the sessions, ensuring that team follows the Scrum principles. Finally, you have the development team who reviews the backlog items, estimate the efforts needed to complete the sprint backlog items, and commit to complete the work. This collaboration ensures a well rounded and actionable plan. To talk more about defining the sprint goal, so a key outcome of the sprint planning is the sprint goal, which is a concise statement that it's one statement that defines the purpose of the sprint. And the goal aligns the team with the clear business objective, ensuring their efforts are directed toward delivering, let's say, a meaningful value. It also acts as a decision making tool during the sprint, helping the team to prioritize the task and address the unforeseen challenges. To talk again about selecting the backlog items, so once the sprint goal is established, the team selects the backlog items that aligns with it, working collaboratively with the product owner. So the product owner ensures that these items are well defined and, let's say, uh, um, having the definition of ready to, let's say, to be started and prioritized, while the team breaks them into smaller tasks. If you recall, when we say that maybe one of these features is an epic, and each of these epic will have different user stories. And each of these user stories will have different tasks and subtasks. And this granular planning helps the team to estimate the effort more accurately, focuses on delivering incremental value within the sprint time frame. When it comes to capacity planning, so capacity planning is a crucial part of sprint planning as it ensures the team does not overcommit. By considering the team availability, the historical velocity, and the complexity of the tasks, the team then can plan a realistic workload. And this approach balances the productivity with sustaining the work practices, also reducing the burnout and improving the work quality. Some of these challenges that you might face when leading a Scrum event, especially the sprint planning. So, sprint planning can face challenges such as having unclear backlog items and overestimation of the team capacity, also the misalignment with the stakeholders. Addressing these issues requires the product owner to ensure the backlog clarity. Remember when we said about each of these user story has to have definition of ready to be started working on, and the team need to be honest about their workload as well as opening the communication to align the expectation between the team and the stakeholders. By tackling these challenges the head on, the team sets a strong foundation for the sprint. Let's look at one of these real world examples. Let's say in a scenario where a software development team has planned the sprint to deliver a new login feature. And the sprint goal here was set to develop and test the feature using the authentication integration. During the sprint planning, the selected backlog items related to the authentication, user creation, and ensuring the alignment with the product owner priorities. By focusing on a clear goal and manageable tasks, they deliver the feature successfully. To summarize our session on the first Scrum event, which is the sprint planning. Sprint planning is essential Scrum event that establishes a clear direction for the team. By defining the sprint goal and aligning the priorities and planning the workload realistically, team sets the foundation for the success. With having a regular backlog refinement, open communication ensures the process remains efficient and effective, enabling the teams to deliver high quality outcomes constantly.